Alright, welcome YouTube. Today we're doing a tiny whoop. I'm actually going from the inductrix FPB, and I'm gonna mod it and go to the doing an actual low profile. I'm using the jjrc frame, actually the whole frame with the body kit. I'm gonna do a low profile, so I already set up the VTX. I trimmed this. I didn't even have to trim it. There's a piece here. You don't even have to trim anything. You don't have to even touch at all the actual frame. I did because I've been messing around trying to figure out, but I just figured out that you don't even have to. First things first, the VTX you can see down here. It's right where the battery placement is for the actual H36. I just slide it in through the front, and with the rubber band I just hooked up the camera. It takes a little bit. I actually had to use actual crochet a hook to actually pull the rubber band in. You can figure all that by yourself, but just to give you a tip of how I pulled it up. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. So I just used one of these. This is for crochet. Got in, hold it and pulled it up, and then put it in place. What rubber bands I'm using, I just got this from the hobby shop, but it's the ones that, the ones to do bracelets on your hands. Those are the ones that I'm using. They're small and very, very strong. So there we go. That puts my camera in place. Now to hold my VTX down, of course, just hot glue right there, front and back, that holds it in place. The channel button is open and free. You can change your channel if you don't place your battery in. One thing I'm noticing, probably gonna have some trouble when I put the rubber band in for the battery, the actual battery, but I don't think I'm gonna have that much of a trouble. I'll just see what happens. Now for the actual brain of the quad, it's just gonna be here. What I did was the actual mounts, the soft mount that the inductors have, I just cut it in half, like two of them, and I placed them so I have some cushioning. I just noticed, you can see it right here, that one. I cut it in half, and I have it in. Why I cut it in half? Because if it's too tall, I noticed that the actual canopy will not fit, and I want that canopy on. I like how it looks. So this is gonna be right there on the soft mounted, just to give it a little bushing. What happened was that when I didn't have the mount, every time it fell to the ground, it hit the ground so hard that it shook my flight controller and it shut it off for a second or two, and then it came back up. I'm hoping with this frame, this mount, it will just stop that at all. Like, it will not happen at all. That's what I want to try with that. So there we go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna mount the actual flight controller, and I'm gonna put them all together. So the brain is mounted, and I'm just scared. I already mounted it. Didn't have any trouble, but that metal is actually connecting there. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna cost. I don't know if that's the actual cost of it shutting down or not having. I don't know. I hope not. But pretty much there you go. Like you see, you can see this. It's hard to see because it's all black, but it's soft mounted. So I got the little bushings down there. So it will cushion a little bit, not too much, but it's something. VTX on the bottom. I haven't connected anything, but you can see I got access to everything on it. Motors, VTX, all the wires. Now my next step is putting the rubber band for the battery. I'm going to do that right now. Alright, so now I have my rubber band. I put the motors in first because the rubber band gets on the way for putting the motor. So I recommend always putting the motor first, and after you get the motors in, you line up the other rubber band. It's not that tight. The rubber band is actually just tighter where the battery comes in. So this is not a tighter rubber band. It's just nice and snug. And I don't know why, but I feel like the antenna, I don't want to. This is a copper, like straight up copper. I don't want to push it into the flight controller with the rubber band. So I'm just putting it right on top of the rubber band. It just sits there. Another thing I did was my VTX antenna. It's right there. You can see it. I actually pushed it out so it holds down with that frame. Let's see if I can mark it right here. I know you can see it, but for those, it's hard to see, but my antenna's right here. Well, it's right here. Hard to see because of the light, since everything is black here. There you go. I think this is better. So the antenna's right here, and I just push it through the frame so it holds down with this frame, and then all my cables, I push them through that same frame on the back so they're not inside towards the motor. And my JST connector for my VTX, I just snugged it in there so it's nice and snug. It will not get out of there. You can't see it. So everything is nice and tight in there. Now, like I said, this is not an upgrade motor. It's just a stock. It's just a stock inductrix, so it's not the best thing out there. Like, it will fall out of the sky every now and then. It's just bounce up and down. But overall, I'm pretty sure that this canopy is a lot lighter than that one. And but everything just sums up when you add this frame. It's a lot heavier, so everything just pretty much equals everything. He's gonna put this on top, and we'll see how it goes. Right, I just put it in. Look at this nice thing. So it looks very nice. Everything is inside, nice and clean. Just glue out there. But everything's nice. And one thing I want to tell everybody is when you're doing builds and you put in the VTX, don't press it into nothing. So make sure it has plenty of, at least some space in between whatever you're gonna put it on top, because if it's pressed into something, it will burn out. You will just fry the whole VTX. So need some space in between, and the VTX should be just fine. And this build specifically, it has a lot of space, so you can't see it, but you can see the JTS connector right there. It has all that space plus another space in between that. So it has plenty of space there. Won't go anywhere. I should not fry for anything. It should be all set. Now, the view on the camera, since on the bottom, you can see the front area, but it's pretty good. It's look at that. It looks slick, right? Now, let's turn it on and see how it goes. Alright, so here's how it looks with the battery. I put it backwards because of the little little things that flaps are on it that it hold it down. If I put it downwards, it will not sit on the ground. Right now, it sits on the battery. It has, just has a little bit of. Sits on the rubber band actually. If I didn't have the rubber band, it would just sit perfectly here. Since the rubber band, it just sits on the rubber band. Slided the battery just line up with the camera, so I can't see the battery with the camera. I should hold it tight for the flight. This doesn't go anywhere. Now let's see it flying. Want to see it flying? Let's go for it. Now I got my goggles. I'm gonna actually put. I'm gonna start the quad. So let's get that started. There we go. Should bind. BTX image is actually coming in real good. There we go. And let's fight real quick. See how it goes. It flies real good. Feels just exactly the same. It doesn't wake anymore, so it actually responds real good. So there we go. You got it. Now there you go. It looks very nice. Light up too. The battery, I slid it up a little bit forward so I could see the front of the battery a little bit. So, but I can pull that a little bit back so you don't see it. You just put the battery. Don't put it too far back because it will lose the balance. But there you go. It looks very nice with that lights on top, the mode lights, the lights on the bottom. So it looks very nice. All right, guys. See you on the next video. Remember to like, subscribe, and have a good day.